Hey everybody, well, with a busy time over Christmas with the awards and stuff, plenty to do through January. We've had a bit of a break from the regular show, but never fear, we've rolled December and January's products into one big pile, and there are a whopping 20 recommended things to take a look at in this show. Also coming up on today's show, we've got a recommended route with a twist from Wales, a top cafe to stop at. We'll take a look at why we think a lightweight rain jacket is one of the best things you can buy, and we've got a Product of the Month award to give out. Now, if you're wondering where Liam is, well, here's your clue. Get well soon, Liam. I'm gonna have to do it on my own this month, so let's kick off. Okay, first we've got a great product for rainy weather. The Green Oil Wet Chain Lube is a brilliant lube that really lasts, and it also keeps faff and mess to a minimum. It's a really good barrier against water and dirt and corrosion. It will reduce your maintenance costs, and it's kind to the planet. The price is good and the applicator is well designed. There's really nothing to dislike here. The product itself is totally biodegradable and it's packaged in recycled plastic, and your bottle can be refilled at a small discount at many local bike shops. The ingredients are sustainably sourced too, so green oil isn't just simply passing the ecological impact up the supply chain. Okay, moving on to a great nutrition product. Keeping up your energy levels in winter conditions is crucial if you want to avoid the dreaded bonk. Now, the Precision Hydration PF30 drink mix has a mild taste that's not overly sweet, which means that you're more likely to actually drink it as you go. The PF30 mix uses the popular 2-to-1 ratio of maltodextrin to fructose to deliver 30 grams of carbs for a half-litre bottle. That's not especially high, and you can get more carbs with other drinks, but the PF30 also packs in plenty of electrolyte content, giving you 500 milligrams of sodium, 125 of potassium, 24 milligrams of calcium in every bottle. That should help you to avoid cramping, and you definitely want to avoid that. Some luggage now. Jack's the bike rack is a brilliant front handlebar mounted hanging rack that fits quickly without any tools, providing almost all types of bike with a front cargo platform. It's made from steel and fitting takes less than a minute. It slots either side of your stem with a snap-on fit, and then you strap it in place. Once it's fitted, it'll carry up to 5 kilos, so you could load it up with beers or something useful like a tent. No, I'm not saying beer's not useful. Right. Time for a recommended route now. We're off to Avon in Wales for a route that will suit a lot of different riders. Here's Off-Road.cc's Liam Mercer to tell you all about it.
The Wal Trail, nestled within the Afan Valley, contains some of the best single track that South Wales has to offer. Found just a 15-minute drive for the M4 at Port Talbot, parking for the wall is located along the Afan Valley, where you'll also find the Afan Valley bike shed, holiday accommodation nearby, and all the amenities you'll ever need, including a good cafe. With the 20-kilometre trail starting off out of the car park, big climbs take you through some of the most scenic areas of the valley, and don't worry, there's plenty of places to stop and admire those views. Once the north side of the valley's been summited, all you're faced thereafter are thrilling, rock-strewn descents that will please new and experienced riders alike. A particular highlight of the trail is Zigzag, the penultimate descent which traverses the valley, throwing heaps of tech and speed in front of your tyres.
Thanks, Liam. Avon is a really good place to ride for on and off-road, and the off-road team had plenty of fun when they went to film for the first in a great series over on their channel. You should check that out once we're done here. There's a link to the first video in the description below. Okay, one for the incoming spring conditions now. The Van Rysel cool weather cycling leg warmers are made from a fleece-backed Super Roubaix style material. They have a water-shedding DWR coating, and they're a great deal, just 15 quid. They are a little on the short side, so you need to be comfortable with showing off your socks. Maybe you put your socks on top anyway. Well, you shouldn't, it's socks under warmers from me. If you think I'm wrong, I'd like your reasoning in the comments below, and it had better be good. Okay, got a bit distracted there. Van Rysel uses a 30mm wide silicone gripper at the thigh and a 50mm gripper at the calf to keep everything comfortably in place. Considering the quality and the performance, the price is brilliant, and it proves that you don't need to spend big bucks for some great kit. Whilst we're on the subject of Van Rysel's cool weather gear, the arm warmers are also hard to fault and great value. As well as being extremely light, these arm warmers are incredibly stretchy. They're made from 87% polyamide and 13% elastane. Think sort of heavy denier women's tights, and you're along the right lines. The construction is seamless and smooth, with ribbed areas at the top and bottom where they are also double thickness. There are no grippers or other features at all really, just simple knitted tubes of stretchy fabric. And for not quite jersey conditions, they're perfect. Now, at £78 for a polo shirt, our next recommended product maybe isn't majoring so much on value, but the Friend Merino polo shirt is a tidy, understated way to stay temperature balanced and pong free across days of riding. This unassuming polo shirt features a brilliant cut that makes it perfect for riding, and the 100% superfine merino just feels great against the skin, leaving us wishing that all merino base layers were this well made. Not cheap, but a great investment. Okay, moving on, we've got two tools from Granite. There's the Stash Tubeless flat tyre repair kit and the Stash chain repair toolkit. Both of these are bar end tools for flat bar bikes. The idea here is that you stow away the tools that you probably won't need, but you'd be walking home without them if the worst happens. A big gash in a tyre or a broken chain can end your ride if you don't have the means to fix them. Both of these tools store securely and are easy to use when you actually need them. Each tool costs £20, and once you've fitted them, you're not going to forget them. Okay, we're going to talk all about rain jackets later, but if you hate the rain and never go out in it, then you can get an even lighter jacket in the form of the Assos Mille GT wind jacket. It does have a DWR coating to see off light rain, but really, this is for keeping the chilly winds off. The fit is very close, and that means you end up with a quiet jacket, which sounds a bit odd to say, but it is genuinely a benefit. It's surprisingly breathable for a windproof jacket as well, so you might not need to unzip when the road heads uphill. But as this is Assos, the sizing is on the small side, so size up if you're on the border. Heydon, between Norwich and the North Norfolk coast, is the quintessential English village, and the tea room, with its big bay window on the high street overlooking the green, is the quintessential English tea room. Almost everything is made on the premises from local ingredients, and there's everything from a cake to a sandwich to a full meal on offer. North Norfolk is flat and quiet, and it's perfect for a leisurely road ride with a nice long coffee stop thrown in. Once you've filled up on the excellent cakes, you'll be glad there aren't any big hills lurking just around the corner as you waddle off. Check the description below for some great local route recommendations on Commute. Whew, that section always makes me a bit peckish. Let's move on to the Orro Terra Ekar 1x gravel bike, which is a great bike for those who want speed off the beaten track, and it'll happily carry your gear for longer adventures. Now, Stu reviewed this one and he said that for a road rider making the transition to gravel, the Orro is a brilliant choice. You stamp on the pedals for a climb, you won't be leaving anything in the frame. The massive width of the down tube, the wide bottom bracket shell junction and those chunky chain stays make it really quick off the mark, even from a standing start. Now, we've tested this frame before with Shimano's GRX, but Camelbak's 13-speed Ekar gearing is lighter and you get a great range of gears from the 1x system. If you're going fast on a mix of surfaces, this bike is hard to beat. And if you're wondering what gravel riding was like before gravel bikes were a thing, this next book is fabulous, collating another tranche of images that capture the exploits of the Rough Stuff Fellowship members. Long before it was fashionable, these intrepid cyclists were undertaking trips that were not always advisable on a bike, and fortunately, plenty of it was captured on film. This book and the previous volume provide us with the opportunity to marvel at their achievements and understand the challenges of off-road cycling back in the day. We've got it so easy these days. Onto some new tech now. The 76 Project's high-flow, no-clog tubeless valves have reimagined how valves should work. They look much like your humble Presta valve, but there's a lot going on here. The small bulge near the top of the valve is home to a short but wide plunger that allows for more air and sealant to pass through, simply because there's more space for it to enter. If you've ever spent any time swearing at a clogged valve on a tubeless wheel, and I know I have, then you should definitely try these. Now, if Liam was here, he'd tell you that we both like a spot of pro road racing. Him more than me. What's that, Liam? You're sitting in bed watching the Saudi tour on Eurosport? Lovely job. Yeah, well, I'm here working. Brilliant. Anyway, the Road Book 2021 Cycling Almanack is for the likes of Liam and you if you love your racing. Edited by the lovely Ned Bolting, who writes an 18-page introduction. The format leads with detailed results for every race that matters. There are also pieces written by the likes of newly crowned men's cyclocross world champion Tom Pidcock. There's enough in there to keep you occupied for the whole season. Next up is a great everyday bag for your cycling life. The Camelbak H.A.W.G Commute 30 backpack is absolutely brilliant for commuting shopping, going to races, mini holidays, pretty much anything really. The main compartment is large and the full length tongue-like opening makes packing larger loads quick and easy. The laptop sleeve is positioned where it should be too, against your back to help you carry what is usually the heaviest single item in the bag. It's well protected there too. The majority of the bag is made from a tough, water-resistant material, as are the zips, so carrying expensive electronics in the rain wasn't an issue. Add in a very supportive shoulder strap system and you've got a bag that is worth its price tag, even though it is a pretty hefty one.
One thing that is great is not getting soaked halfway through a long ride, and when you live in the UK there's often the chance of rain, of course. Two of the products that made this month's road.cc recommends are lightweight rain jackets, so we thought we'd give you some buying advice about them. We'd honestly say that a good lightweight rain jacket is about the best purchase you can make for riding in the UK. Before we dive into the buying advice though, let's take a look at these two jackets we've reviewed. Castelli's Hydro 3 is made using Gore-Tex shake dry material, so it's properly waterproof and highly breathable. The updated Hydro has a longer cut than previously for improved coverage. It's got a chunkier zip for easier adjustment, and it's got a rejigged forearm construction. The new fabric on the lower rear section, which is also from Gore, that's able to stretch while maintaining complete waterproofness. The Hydro 3 is an excellent option, although with a recommended retail price of over £300, it must be said that you can get cheaper shake dry jackets. For less money, £158 to be precise, there's the Pactamo Men's Torrent Stretch Waterproof Cape, which is a bit of a mouthful, but as well as being waterproof, this is a lightweight, form-fitting jacket, and it's also extremely breathable, which is just what you want. The Torrent, as I'm going to call it, has a 20,000mm waterproof rating, which means that it's highly waterproof, and a 37,000mm moisture transfer rating. That second number is especially impressive, reflecting its ability to keep you sweat-free. Reviewer Ewain said that the high level of breathability was noticeable, even compared with other decent options, and he judged this to be the best waterproof jacket that he's ever used. He's a massive fan of it. The cut of this jacket is towards the racier end of the spectrum, snug enough to avoid any fabric flapping around and stretchy enough to work over different layers of clothing. But what should you look for when buying a lightweight waterproof jacket then? Well, the most obvious bit is that it needs to stop the rain from soaking you through, obviously. If you can stay dry when it rains heavily, you're going to be able to stay warm too, and clearly that's especially important in the winter. But it's no use keeping the water out if the jacket causes all of your sweat to stay in, because you'll just get drenched, but just in a different way. To help you choose, jackets can come with waterproof and breathability ratings, as with the Pactamo that we just mentioned. The fabric is one of the most important things to consider when you buy a waterproof, of course. Our advice is not to scrimp if you want a high quality jacket that's going to provide years of outstanding service. You really do get what you pay for here. Making a waterproof fabric is relatively easy. A bin bag is waterproof, but making a fabric that's waterproof and breathable, meaning that sweaty vapour can escape through the fabric, well, that's a much more challenging thing to do. Most waterproof jackets have a membrane sandwiched between other layers. Some have a durable water repellent treatment, DWR for short, that causes water to bead up and roll off. And some have a treatment that coats each individual fibre. Many fabrics take more than one of these approaches. Pay close attention to product descriptions when buying your jacket. Manufacturers can claim that a jacket is waterproof, water resistant or water repellent. To be waterproof, a jacket must have a waterproof fabric and have taped seams. Taping the seams is really important for making a jacket fully waterproof, otherwise the water will just eventually seep in through all those little gaps. Underneath waterproof, you get water resistant fabrics which will hold up to some rain, but eventually water will find a way in. Water repellent fabrics, on the other hand, use a hydrophobic treatment that reduces the amount of water that's absorbed. Prices for waterproof jackets range from around the £60 mark right up to over £300. We've got a great guide to 37 of the best jackets over on road.cc with the top options in each price point. You'll find a link down in the description below.
Back to the recommended products, and just a few to look at before we announce the product of the month. A great bike first. Live's Langma Advanced SL Disc 2022 is now a bit more aero, but it remains an exceptional climber. The Langma is a lightweight race-orientated platform that can now motor along on the flat as well as dance up the climbs. It's fantastically stiff when you want to give it some, and with tyre clearance of 32mm and 36mm rims, it can even be ridden through the off-season with no concerns in gusty conditions. This is a really versatile bike. Anna was suitably impressed when she tested this bike and says that if you want just one fast all-round bike for mixing it up on the flat and on the climbs, the new Langma is a perfect choice. Surely a fancy new bike should be matched with equally fancy shoes, and the Giro women's regime cycling shoes are sleek looking, they're seriously comfortable, and they're performance oriented. Much of the comfort comes from the sync wire upper design, which is manufactured in a single piece, so it's free of any irritating seams, and it really does fit and feel like a second skin. These are excellent shoes that deliver on comfort, performance, and style, and that goes a long way to justifying the price tag. If you're looking for a more affordable upgrade than those previous two, then the ENVE handlebar tape is really worth a look. ENVE says it has designed a special compound for the tape that provides grip, comfort and stretch, and it's backed it with a silicone strip that provides vibration damping. It is incredibly effective at doing all that, and as a bonus, it's pretty light too. The tape can be removed and reused. As it's silicone backed, there's no glue, just a tacky strip that keeps it in place when you wrap it. It's a really good solution. Right, time for the big one. And the product of the month is the latest Merida Scultura team. This is the World Tour level pro race bike that flies up the climbs, and it's been given the aero treatment and a super clean integrated front end to keep it competitive on the flats. The most surprising thing, however, is the price. Now, at 7,750 quid, it's certainly not what you call cheap, but when you consider that an equivalent team spec bike from other manufacturers is often well into five figures, it does look like, if not a bargain exactly, then a good value offering. Away from the money aspect, the Scultura offers a beautiful blend of stiffness for big efforts with composure over broken ground that really helps to isolate you from the road buzz. Even with the 28mm Continental tyres pumped up firm, there's very little in the way of road buzz coming through the contact points. That's helped not only by the carbon fibre layup, but also things like the slender seat stays and the S-Flex carbon seat post. Comfort, as we never tire of saying, is a performance advantage. Not getting battered about means you can ride quicker for longer, so you can cover plenty of distance on the Scultura, as this is one rapid bike. With its clean front end and all the cables and hoses completely hidden from view, the Merida certainly looks sleek, especially with the all-in-one handlebar and stem setup. Stu and Liam have both had time on the Scultura, and they were both incredibly impressed with the ride quality, the handling, the stiffness, and the price. That's why it's our product of the month. And with that, we're done for this bumper edition of road.cc Recommends. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, or skipping to the end, if that's what you did. We'll be back next month with another round of the best products we reviewed over on road.cc. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed this vid, and subscribe to see more from us. Cheers.